How's everybody doing today? Yeah. Let me get that little tootie up here.
Woke up naked, cradling a fifth of bean. Breast stinking, so I'm taking shots of Listerine. Trying to make it, so I bought a pair of skinny jeans. Such a pretty little thing, trying to fit my city scene. Hear your sister scream, coming from your parents' room. I'm there naked, wearing nothing but a pair of boots and a pair of shoes, screaming out Geronimo. She got an ass like a Tijuana donkey show. This is rock and roll, I got the city with me. Making millions off the children, it's a pretty penny. And she got grizzly titties, I'm talking bare breasts. My teeth are jagged, easier to tear flesh. You can care less, well Billy cares lesser. Ripping pussies on wax like a Brazilian hairdresser. Yeah, I rap, but chameleonaire's better. Now I'm losing my religion for some billionaire's pleasure. I'm on the case, man, here I come. Dum dum, dum 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 dum. If I could chase with a bottle of rum. Dum dum, dum 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 dum. Bang the bass till your face go numb. Dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Everybody in the place go dumb. Dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Too many rappers, not enough physicists. Y'all some princesses, go on and catch syphilis. Fuck your frigidness, this is frigid time. Life is a race, you won't even see the finish line. And the biggest crime is I ain't even rich yet. So if you're rich, you fucking bitch, write a big check. Get your lips wet, pucker up, spin the bottle. You feeling lucky, punk, do ya? Then win the lotto. What's my motto? Get laid and get pesos. At that taco truck, giving senoritas pesos. Abe Seche, J-A-F-A. Big boss so swass, they call me Hefe. Flow so breathy, I'll probably have a heart attack. Cops like you're under arrest, cardiac. Where's the party at? That's a trick question. It's wherever we be, but we keeps the tricks guessing. I'm on the case, man, here I come. Dum dum, dum 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 dum. If I could chase with a bottle of rum. Dum dum, dum 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 dum. Bang the bass till your face go numb. Dum dum, dum 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 dum. Everybody in the place go dumb. Dum dum, dum 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 dum. Dum dum, dum dum, dum 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 dum. Dum dum, dum dum, dum 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 dum. Dum dum, dum dum, dum 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 dum. Dum dum, dum dum, dum 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 dum.
Dum 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 dum. What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Ooh. I have my TV behind me and the Roku screen is up. And it bothers me. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to open up YouTube. I'm going to just play something behind me. If it recommends this stream, yeah, I'm going to play this stream behind me. We're going to have... I hit okay. Come on, Papa. Play, please. Do a play. All right, it's going to get weird now. Look at that. You're going to have multiple me's. It's going to bother you. It's going to bother you. I'm the one. I talked to Mariana from Battlecam fairly recently. I got to mute my TV. I forgot if I have my TV on, it'll play my freaking audio in the background. Mute, please. See, this is how you know I'm doing a top quality stream. Also, I think I'm going to change the mood lighting. There we go. Now it'll be interesting. Now we'll see. Now we'll see how things really work. Ooh-wee. Oh, yeah. Gets a little purple, red, and then the TV gets a little back on the green. Is it going to line up perfectly? Probably not. I don't know. That's high-tech top tier right here, Brad Lamb. Only the best for you. More like Billy the Oven. Why? Because I'm hot. This is why I'm hot. I'm hot because I'm Bill. I stopped that. That was a song from like 20 years ago, I think. I have been following the Trish Paytas H3H3 breakup like it was my own breakup. I don't know if you guys are even any interested in it at all, but Trish Paytas probably released, I don't know, like 100 videos and tweets talking about this. H3 released one. Like up to the minute, Trisha's still on. I feel like this is dangerous, scrolling down Trisha's timeline. You never know. You never know when a butthole might pop up on this timeline. She's like, this is from 50 minutes ago, 53 minutes. I'm just have to scroll very slow. If I see a hint of butthole. Let's see. You guys talked about her on that episode. Respectfully, the last episode had Gabby Hanna in the title. And she's like, no one is going to that episode for that. She's mad that Gabby Hanna is being brought into this drama. You should try and put yourself in his shoes. You don't want to make a workplace toxic. After what you said, it hurt the crew. That should be understandable. Exactly, hence my departure. It's not fair to anyone there. So basically, see, Ethan made a response video to Trisha's video. Let me pull up. So this is Trisha's YouTube. There's, oh, what the fuck is that? That's not what I wanted to click. Oh shit! Here we go. This needs to be said. Ethan's Lies, part 1, 2, and 3. I'm sorry. Stepping down from Frenemies. One More Thing is another one. So she's 7 videos deep in this. Auntie Max, long time no see. How you doing? She's 7 videos deep into this. Ethan has one. I've watched the one video we watched here on stream. I don't think I've seen the One More Thing video. What's she gonna say?
The internet, like, I do scroll through TikTok because I feel like I can like handle that because like everyone just hates me right now, and I'm. This is probably gonna come off so wrong, and more people are gonna hate me. I was a fan of you because Ethan put up with you, and now that he's not putting up with you, no, you know, I'm out, and that's fine. And at this point, it's like. I'm not trying to convince people like me. I'm not trying to convince anything. I just really need to clarify something that people still are not getting. The H3 employees have nothing to do with Frenemies as far as our 5% salary. The 5% thing. Yes, Ethan gets an extra 5% from the main channel, but he also gets 100% of the highlights. So technically 105%. And the highlights make a shit ton of money. I add up the views of our Frenemies highlights. I'm not talking about the H3 highlights, of our Frenemies highlights. And that's like, it's literally probably half of what we make. It's a lot. I would guess anywhere from $50,000 to like $80,000 like a month. Like that's just a guess. I don't know. I don't see the numbers. I never do. And I've always been.
She never sees the numbers. Ethan on his video said he sends her a full report. So I wonder if he sends her a full report and she just doesn't look at it. I don't know, man. 105%, because what they earn off of Frenemies, Trish gets 45% of the views of Frenemies videos and 45% of the branding deals, their sponsorship deals, which is pretty good deal. That's a nice little split there. That's just the main video itself. Like that doesn't give any of the other clip videos that they put up with the show that like H3H3 gets views on. So if the show gets a couple million views and all those other clips added up get like more views than the regular show does, you might even think that the highlight clips take away from people viewing the entire show. So I could see why she like feels like there's more money coming in that she doesn't have a say in. And that I can see why that adds up, because I might just watch the highlight clips and not even bother watching a full episode, right? She need that lip money. She's got a skincare product coming out. You guys should pick it up. But it's just my takeaway from all this is she has no like real control over the show. Sorry, I sneezed. And I think that's really where most of this stems from, is she's kind of just the attraction, you know? She's just kind of like Andre the Giant, and he's Vince McMahon. If you guys ever watch pro wrestling, she's the Hulk Hogan, and he's running the show, you know? I ran out of wrestling euphemisms once I called her Andre the Giant. I was like, well, shit. Vince McMahon runs all that. What can I do? Ethan's always going to be Vince. We look related, says JT. That's because she's my baby mama. Duh, don't you know anything about how sex works? She's the rhinoceros. Yes, Kiki. That's exactly how I said it. Ethan is the zookeeper. She's the rhinoceros. People came to the show for the rhinoceros. Now, the highlights are the best part of the show, right? That's why they're highlights. And if they're going up separately on the channel, he's taking the best part of the show and he's profiting off of it. And maybe somebody watches that and says, well, I want to go watch the whole episode now. Or maybe they just watch all the highlights and don't even bother with the episode. That's a concern that I might have if I was Trisha Paytas, and oftentimes I dress up like her and pretend I am. Oh, Dustin, I haven't talked to Martin for a while, Carl, but he's doing good from what I heard. H3 is the host. She's the attraction on H3's channel. After all, H3 is the host. Yeah, I think the internet kind of attacked her for making anti-Semitic comments after this all went down. Ethan himself, even in the video, was like, she could be anti-Semitic towards me. She can be this way towards me, but I can't criticize her. And I think that the problem with that is he has the power dynamic here. In his response video as well. Let me see if I can find it. Do I have it up here? Yeah, I don't know exactly where it is in the video, but
on her work on her first day. And so
this is where he's talking about Trish commenting on one of the crew guys' girlfriends who got a job working with them. She had an idea for a segment, I guess, and Trish poo-pooed it. And this is him. Ethan spends 45 minutes basically defending himself, which in my opinion is a waste of time. Like if I'm H3H3, I'm going to be like, obviously the internet thinks Trish Paytas is crazy in the first place. That's why we even did this show, because of how crazy our dynamic was. I'm going to let the internet know that I'm hurt that the show's not going on. I love doing the show, but it was always a struggle. And if Trish doesn't want to do it, I have to respect that. And I would say that. I wouldn't defend myself if I was him. I feel like he has no reason to defend himself. This is like MasterCard defending themselves because somebody used one of their cards to buy a whole bunch of like kinky, weird porn. Like, Nobody's blaming you, MasterCard. That's a horrible analogy, by the way. Now that you guys obviously know that I just bought a whole bunch of weird porn with a stolen MasterCard, and that's why that was on my mind. Embarrassing. But Trish definitely, she is that great big mess. And H3H3 goes on in this video at one point to even be like, why does Trish get to use her mental issues as an excuse? I have mental issues, and he starts listing off all these things. He's like, I'm on medication. I have no sensation in my penis. My penis is basically useless. It goes on to say that type of stuff, and it's like, bro, we look at you as the authority in this community. Like, you don't have to play I'm broken to get a pass. You have to say, I'm hurt, obviously, that this came out this way and Trish says these things. But you spend 45 minutes explaining yourself. I don't think we needed that explanation. Trish is like the prototypical hot mess. I think the best thing you could do when you're dealing with a hot mess like this is just try and be kind and be like, look, everybody, Trish didn't feel comfortable with some of the things that we did and said around here. And I have to respect that. Like, I feel like that's the easiest way to deal with it. Be like, we just spent hundreds of $1,000s on merch. I was so invested in this project that I put all this money into it. I don't know if we'll be able to recoup that, but the money is nothing to the fact that this is a rift between somebody who I've grown to care for. Say something like that. Instead, it was very attacky. One of the things in the video that he said was it was very defensive. Like, I don't think he needed to be defensive. And I think being so defensive kind of like adds up to some form of him feeling like maybe he wasn't in the right. And there were some times in the video where he definitely said that. He definitely said, this is where I could have fucked up. Like telling the crew that Trish wanted them fired. Like, as the boss, you're playing your talent versus your crew. That's stupid. There was one part of this video where he was talking about how Trish... No, it wasn't this video. It was a podcast they did, I think, 2 weeks ago. And Trish was talking about having a reality TV show company wanting to do a reality show with the two of them. And Ethan was like, no. They can just edit that however they want and make you look however you want. I don't want to do that. He's like, I feel like we could do that. I feel like we could do that on our own without involving them. And that was, from my viewpoint, Trish reaching out, trying to bring something to the table that wasn't his, that was actually theirs. She was trying to have something that was actually theirs. And I think this entire riff really stems from the fact that this show is not hers. It's his. That's why she's focusing on the money and the earnings so much, because that's where numbers prove, that she is not, it's not her show. It's not her crew. It's not her team. They're aligned with him. It's always going to be his. He said it in his own words, do it with his company so he can control it. He's in control of all of this, right? And I think with Trish, you're dealing with somebody who has issues. You're trying to do the best by them, but you're not. like you are manipulating things by having that control, by keeping that control. She brings an idea like having a reality show with the two of them, and having a company that wants to put it out, and he's poo-pooing that because he doesn't have control. And that just further distances her from whatever this show is, because she has no control. She would have more control by giving up control to the reality show, because they both would have no control at that point, putting them on an even field, right? Thomas Agastonovic says it's been his from the start, though. And I think that's why Trish feels so bitter about it, because she felt like it was theirs. Like she was going to have more to do with it. Like when she signed on, she wanted to be able to, like, she's bringing her brand into his world, and he's profiting on it in so many ways. In so many ways that like he's getting benefits from, to the point where he was happy spending hundreds of $1,000s on merch, because he knew the way things were going, he'd be able to recoup that 30%, split that 30%. He could get that 15% recoup on the merch. Chopsticks says Trisha is annoying. Yes. She's very much annoying in a lot of ways. And she's very much like a campfire too. She can keep you warm. She can keep you she can keep you safe, keep you lit. She can burn you. She can blow smoke in your face. Campfires are annoying when the smoke gets in your face, but you love being around them when you're cold. Like, she's got a lot of negatives and a lot of positives all at once. Right? And when you play with fire, sometimes you get burnt. What's up, Daisy? How you doing? Trisha and Betty need to make a podcast called Calories. I just want to make a podcast with Trish Paytas where her and I share a plate of spaghetti, like in Lady and the Tramp, and it's a gigantic plate of spaghetti, and we just eat the spaghetti until we suck the same noodle and we kiss each other and the podcast is over. Every episode, we just eat things until eating makes us kiss each other, and then it's over. Itty Bitty Tidkins says, you think I should do a podcast with someone? Yeah. I'll be doing a podcast tonight with Benpai Drunken Peasants, like I do all the time. But I should just do 1,000 podcasts. One with Trish Paytas, one with Bill Gates, and one with Melinda Gates, now that they're split up. I'll do one with both of them. I should do a podcast with Barack Obama. I should do a podcast with Ivanka Trump. I should do a podcast with all different gods, like Christian God, Islamic God, all the gods. I think that'd be good. That'd be a good podcast. That'd be a good podcast. Annoyed says, I wonder why Billy is defending Trisha. I can't think of any reason why. For one, I'm defending Trisha because she is indefensible, right? Like, there's so many reasons to look down on Trisha for this, and I don't see a whole lot of reasons to look down on Ethan for this. I think we gotta look at it from the devil's advocate aspect, right? We have to try and defend those who seem defenseless. And Trisha, time and again, fucks up like this. Ethan, for the most part, has been pretty steady with what he's been doing. And I think he wanted to capitalize on who Trish is as a person and did so in a way that didn't take into account this type of shit would be happening all the time. And this type of shit would probably be good for ratings, right? How to deal with a bad breakup from Mike Litteris. Don't drink yourself to death. Whack off 2 to 3 times a day. Don't call, text him or her, and exercise. It's good. That's good advice, Mike Litteris. Good advice. He should do nothing. Let her burn. Yeah, I think that him doing nothing would have been better than him defending himself at like defending himself for 45 minutes against the things she was accusing. And I don't even know, like I watched one video of her. There's 3, 4, so many more videos of her. Who even knows? That's a cute Disney sign. I like that. So many more videos of her like responding. Was this 49 freaking minutes? And this is part 1 of Ethan's lies.
Hey guys, so I'm gonna just go through this 45-minute video. I haven't watched it yet. I'm just seeing all the comments, and there is just.
So this 45-minute video Ethan put out that we had just watched a clip of, she made a 49-minute video. Is she watching it and responding?
This is when the employees said that they didn't feel. I guess it's going to get into that about how I disrespect.
Video was just so unnecessary. And
so once again, and it is the reason that I was like, I need to remove myself, because like I value like staff on my productions. I've done music videos, my everyday, whether it's hair, makeup people, editors, you know, my skincare, like clothing, like people I work with, like I respect them more than anybody. Like I
like how her head almost lined up with those Mickey ears for a second. Bob Neiman says you get chili dogs, every kung fu movie you like, and lemonade. That's how you deal with a bad breakup. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Yeah. Why am I saying this? I watched all the videos she put out in the past few days. She convinced me not to be on her side. I don't hate her, but she's contradicting herself every other sentence. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. 3 45-minute videos. There's no way I'm watching all those. There's no way.
I hate when people trash like makeup artists or, you know, ask for discounts, try to lowball people. Like I hate that so much. So like the fact that that is what I did, disrespected the staff, right? How would I possibly continue? That was the last thing he texted me at night, was like, they're really upset. You trashed them really bad. I'm trying to bring this up again. He's like, Ian was upset for her. He's like,
it's me. What's up, Isolation Agorist? How you doing? It's a watch along and respond video. Yeah, let's see what she says at the end, because let's get that Trish Paytas wrap up. Those are nice flowers.
consent for hiring someone. Oh, like I'm the producer, I get that money. Like he changes the thing. The highlights originally in my text messages was for production costs, 100% of the highlights, right? Always. I get $0. Once again, reiterating, $0 of the highlights since the beginning of we started, and the extra 5%. And first that was for production costs. And then on the show, he said, oh no, that's just like, I don't have to, it's not an itemized list. Like I'm just producing the show. Like it's on my channel. It just exists on H3. So I'm entitled to that money. To yesterday, him tweeting that all the money from the highlights he put in towards Frenemies merch, which doesn't make any sense. He never told me that. And when he tweeted that I got 50% of the merch, it was a little misleading because I get 15% of the margins, which he told me was 30%, which I believe they're higher, but also Frenemies is investing in it, then it's a Frenemies investment, like it should be higher. Anyways, again, I didn't care, and the fact that he brought that up, I was just like, I didn't care. Like, again, I even said on the show, like, oh, you're gonna give me money for the merch? Like, I wasn't expecting that. I still don't expect it. I still want them to sell it. Like, they did put money into it, and apparently it's Frenemies highlights money. I don't know whose money it is now, because that was like, that changes.
Like a piece of wood. Like I have no sensation in my penis. Side effect. And I'm fat, by the way. Also a side effect. You know, I have Tourette's, by the way. Something that she continues to tokenize.
She continues to. I like how I fast forward to the part where she's watching him talk about his dick not working. That's what a great spot for me to jump into, not on purpose.
Always makes me uncomfortable. I always ask her to stop doing that. Insist. Everything I do is, oh, that's Tourette's, that's Tourette's.
He always found it funny, and I hate this too. I hate when it's like, this was always okay. We had like limits of what was okay between us, and he, like, when he said the thing, like, I called him cheap again for being a Jew or whatever, and I've always said those jokes, and then one day he's like, that's not funny, you can't keep saying that. I was like, I stopped, because when there's a hard boundary, I like respect it. He's never said that. We've always joked about Tourette's the same way he jokes about me being fat. Like, he's always took me off guard, surprise when he would be like, call me, like, make fat jokes at me, and it's like, and that's our banter, so I didn't take it offensively. So now for him to be like, which she has no disregard, she constantly made fun of my Tourette's, like, that's, I think that's just, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair.
That is kind of unfair, right? Like to bring up, like, for him to make comments against Trish, if they have that dynamic, it should be fine, right? And it seemed like they had that dynamic. But then in the explaining video, to go off on her about, she would do this, I have these problems, and just because she has problems doesn't absolve her from guilt. She would do this and this and this and this. And that's like super manipulative, right? In a way. Am I wrong about that? But I feel like that's manipulative to just now bring up all the times that she was not kind to your conditions, knowing full well that, you know, y'all would go back and forth like that. It was kind of the dynamic of the show. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Bob Neiman says she's in league with the elder gods. She stands with the golden arches. I believe that. Oh. The way she talked about his Tourette's was super cringe. I don't know. Didn't stand out to me. I don't remember her ever doing that. So I'd have to rewatch the videos and be like, yeah, this is super cringe, which probably is. I think Trish is super cringe. That's part of why I like her. She hops on and off. It's okay to call her certain things. He's simply saying the fact that things weren't off limits. That only came up in response to her. You don't have to respond by being like, my dick doesn't work, right? Like, that's doing too much. What you need to be like is, you know, Trish gets super emotional about things that she's fine with other times. And I think that we have to look at that as it's a Trish thing. You know, it's not a me thing. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to defend yourself in that situation. You have to be like, look, Trish is very manic, self-described manic, and she will go into an episode and then she will come out of the episode and be fine. And I was willing to dance around Trish and her episodes because I thought she was a brilliant creator that brought a dynamic to my life that I couldn't find anywhere else. But now that I'm realizing exactly how hard it is to maintain that dynamic, it's probably for the better that we end. Stuff like that. Bob Neiman says, yeah, it's like if Billy made fun of me for having a 15-foot dangler for 3 years, and when we have a falling out, I say that he attacked me is just disingenuous. Bob, I never made fun of you for that 15-foot dangler. I did make fun of you that one time I tripped on it, but it was more out of like self-deprecation because I just tripped on your gigantic penis. I was like, Jesus Christ, leave that thing laying anywhere, man? I thought I was on the set of Anaconda with Ice Cube. It's a film. Ice Cube was in about a giant snake. MMA fans says it's sexual attention they need to make. I agree. Put it on the fans. Let them slam. Joe Hervey says she is a crazy girl. I'm going for a cig. Yeah, no, she is. And I think Moses must have extreme patience and love to be there with her through all this. And that's a good thing. And that's a good thing. Is this real life? You're right, but clearly Ethan can't tame the rhino all the time. It's hard not to stoop to someone's level after it's a recurring issue regularly. No, it's easiest not to stoop at someone's level when it's a recurring issue regularly. That's when it's the easiest because you know exactly where it's coming from. You know why that level exists. And you're like, oh, it's this again. It's this again. I'm not going to fall for this trap because I've been through this multiple times. The first couple of times, you might sink for the trap because you feel like it's coming from a place of actual personal guilt, right? But after the first 3 or 4 times, you realize, oh, this is coming from an issue Trish has that she has not overcame. And there are things that I'm doing that probably trigger her issues. And I hope I can find out what those triggers are, so I don't trigger them again in the future, but I obviously am not aware of them or else I would have fixed them already and she wouldn't be getting triggered as much. I just feel like, you know, you don't play on Trisha's level unless you're on Trisha's level. And then that's a whole different conversation, right? If Ethan is no better than Trish Paytas when it comes to his collective issues, then I guess, yeah, whine and bitch and cry about her making fun of your Tourette's on your podcast by saying that your penis doesn't work. I guess that's fine. But I feel like myself and other fans of H3H3 hold him to a higher regard and a different level of responsibility than we do Trish. And I feel like that's the right way to hold the two. There's a dynamic here. Corsets and Curls, thanks for vlogging. I have anxiety right now. That's why I'm vlogging. I have anxiety right now too. But yeah. And it feels unfair for everyone when episodes happen and people get hurt. Yeah. It's not easy. More like Trish, pay us. Got him. It says, my wife deals with mania and forgives me, but if she dumped me for it, I would understand, to be honest. Or she deals with your mania and forgives you, but if she dumped you for it, you would understand, to be honest. I think that's a big thing is Trish has these emotional needs, right? In any relationship. And over the last few days on Twitter, she said things like, this is like just like a breakup. Oh my God, I can't handle this. And it is just like a breakup. To Trish, she was in a very deep, trusting relationship with H3H3. I think there's a lot of people that can have these compartmentalized relationships, whether they're business, pleasure, friendship, and because of the way they're wired, once they open up to a certain level of trust, it doesn't matter if you're fucking them or not. They have a deep connection and they have issues with trust and with like needing your emotional support at that point. And Trisha's one of those people. There's a lot of people like that out there who you could call them emotional sponges. You can call them toxic. You'd probably be correct, but they're also human beings, and you're also choosing to engage with them on a level where they feel personally connected to you. And just because the other people that you engage with in your life don't have that sort of condition, and you're able to connect with them on a level that isn't as demanding as when you do with Trish, doesn't invalidate her needs. It makes it harder for you to speak her language. I believe someone on Twitter said in response to the H3H3 Trish drama, they said, this is like two people who have 3 months of Spanish language speaking class, 3 months of Spanish language education. And they continue to only talk to themselves in Spanish after that. They go into class for 3 months, learn 3 months worth of Spanish, and then refuse to speak any other language with each other. I thought that was kind of interesting. I thought that was a brilliant way of looking at this. You know, there are people who are communicating at a stunted level. And it becomes super complicated when you bring people into that relationship, like an actual relationship counselor or a psychologist. Dr. Drew gets pulled in here, and you start learning the intricacies of Trisha's brain and how different it is. And you learn from a professional, and that only makes it a deeper connection on both parties, right? There's more trust. There's more history being made between these two, a deeper connection, because they bring a professional in to make that connection. Things like that, you have to learn to communicate with that person in their own ways. Trish does not have any say in this power dynamic, right? It's almost an abusive relationship. You can be in an abusive relationship with somebody and they're not physically hurting you, right? They're not physically beating you, but they are ignorant of the position they put you in that relationship. Let's say you're dating a man and he pays the majority of the bills. The apartment is in his name. The car is in his name. Everything y'all have is in his name. And when you speak up with your concerns, they are like, oh yeah, whatever, you're crazy. Like, just take the money I give you and be happy, right? It's a lot of how I see this in this situation. Trish looking for a little more control, and she's doing something with her career that she's proud of. You know, this is one of the best things she's done outside of her music videos. This is one of the most professional things she's done recently. And it's like she wants to be proud of it, but she knows deep down inside it's not hers. She knows there's clues. The 5% difference, the highlights not going to her, the staff all being his staff. These are all clues that tell her that, you know, this is not her show. And it eats at her. And her way of saying things like, I want to be part of the hiring process, I want to hire on somebody, is her way of saying, I want to have some sort of control over what we're doing. I want to have a say in things so that I feel like it is actually mine a little bit. This new hire, Sam, was a girlfriend of one of the production crew guys, and she'd been doing freelance work for them for months prior to this, and just had a availability open that gave her a full-time position. It sounds great for H3H3. It sounds awesome for the production team. Like, it sounds horrible for somebody like Trish, who wants to have some sort of control over everything, right? She wants to feel like she has some control. Cody D says, I missed the first part of the stream. Could you sum up what's going on here? For those of you that are just showing up right now, we are talking about the Frenemies podcast split up, H3H3, Ethan Klein, and Trish Paytas. They did the Frenemies podcast for quite a while now. I think it's coming up on 8 months or so. I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a good long podcast, and they had a breakup because Ethan hired somebody to the staff, and Trish was disrespectful to them. And Ethan said to her, "Hey, you know, my staff feels disrespected." And she gets all overreacted to that. And Ethan says to the staff, well, if you guys want to continue working with Trish. We have a shoot we can do tomorrow. And it's supposedly the staff was like, yeah, we'll do the shoot. Whatever. It's a little awkward because of what she did. We'll do the shoot. And Ethan goes and says, no, we're not going to do the shoot. Cancel the shoot. Tells Trish, my staff doesn't want to shoot with you. And then they don't feel comfortable. So we're gonna push it off. And then Trish goes and makes a breakup video without consulting Ethan because in her mind, and she has BPD. She's on medication for it. But from everybody I know who has BPD, one of the big symptoms is you have like a voice in your head that is always doubting you and everyone around you. So I think planting these seeds of doubt in her head about the crew being like disrespectful, like that just amplifies. That amplifies. And I think that that's another reason why I kind of sympathize with Trisha a little bit because of all the people I've met that have BPD issues and how they function, trying to get inside their minds a little bit and see how it works. It's different for everybody, but it's like one of the biggest explanations I ever thought. Someone wrote out a story of them inside their own head having a conversation with themselves, and they take one little thing that somebody said that was critical, and they spend the entire story of their brain unraveling that tiny little comment and making it a huge life-shattering conversation between themselves and their head. And that just kind of hit me hard when I read that. It's somebody who I had joked with at one point and said something to them jokingly about their weight, having never seen them visually. I said, like, on a call, I said something about them sounding like they were overweight. And I'm a big fat person, right? And so I thought it was a joke. And then they came back to me a year later and they said, I want to thank you for saying that about me. I starved myself and now I'm really hot. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, that's so manipulative, like, way to say what you said changed my life for the worse and gave me an eating disorder. And I'm like, whoa, that was a passing comment that I made. And now a year later, they're coming back to me to say that it had that big of a ripple effect on them. And I won't forget that. I won't forget a lot of things like that, I got to learn from that. I got to be careful. Yeah, abandonment is the biggest alert in my mind. Is this real life, says BPD sufferer here. You going to hint towards abandoning me? I going to fight back. Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy. Who weighs more, Billy or Trish? Billy, easily. Franny, 2TMs, how is it with yourself on DP? Do you and Ben DP things equally? DP things equally? What does that mean? Do we share the same double penetration things equally? You should hook up with Trisha. I want to do podcasts with Trisha. I want to be the new Trish Paytas podcast. Me and Trish and Nikocado Avocado, and we just eat things and show off our buttholes. That's nasty. I'm kidding, but I would work with Trish in any given moment. I like that type of person, I like those people who have that manic energy. I myself have manic energy, and I think that when I get manic, I ride it out, and I think I do a pretty good job of exploiting my manic energy without hurting people too much. I know every once in a while it gets a little out of hand and people get riled up, but I think I enjoy that energy that people have, like that trapped in a corner energy where you don't know what could happen. Like, shit gets real, And I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable around that sort of energy. And a lot of people aren't. The Pink Star Podcast. Nasty, man. Nasty. But it's Hades with a Z says, love you, Billy was doing homework to your music this morning. Hell yeah. Hades with a Z. I hope you had a good study sesh. Billy and Trisha, first episode, EBZ, the triple platinum rapper interview. I wonder if I can sit down with EBZ again. I wonder if that could happen. Xylem says, I love you. I love you too, Xylem. Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, I wonder if I can sit down with EBZ and Trish Paytas and actually have that interview. EBZ has that energy that's like, you're not sure what he's going to do. And that's why I was excited to stream with EBZ when I went down to Portland, because he was like punking on everybody, and I'm like, okay, is he gonna continue to do this when he goes toe to toe with somebody who doesn't care and will like if EBC would have knocked me out, I'd have been fine with that. I would have been fine if EBC would have fought me. I would not have tried to destroy EBZ. I would have tried to like lock him up in a headlock and then like kiss the top of his head or something. You know? I don't want to fight unless I absolutely have to. I'm here to entertain. That being said, I have no problem fighting. I don't want to. I will go every avenue not to, because I don't feel like it's fair for me to go instigate. I don't feel like it's fair to go poke the bear and then put the bear down, you know? The Harambe moment where I'm the one that lets my baby crawl in the cage and then Harambe got to be put down. I don't want it to go like that. You want Billy the Fridge on First We Feast Hot Ones? Well, I'm going to try and make my next album a big hit, huge hit. So we'll just have to get super famous, and then I can go get on Hot Ones. If Billy had a twin sister, you'd smash? Sicko? I mean, I guess it's not that sick. I am kind of cute. Oh, yeah. The Patrick Star Podcast. Y'all nasty, man. Y'all nasty. Hit him with the zapper and a crapper.
Just to paint more of like
I
Kyle
don't
and
like
Trish.
it, and I tell her that every time, and she keeps doing it. So like, you know,
He's never had a conversation with me off camera about it. Like nothing. Like he called me crazy so much, and I finally had to tell him like, stop calling me crazy. Like you set boundaries with a person. If there's no boundaries, like I'm not gonna make fun of. Obviously, I'm not making fun of someone with a disability. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, you're like if I don't know him, like I'm perplexed.
it's just not fair. Like, I take all this shit, and she takes no shit.
Oh yeah, I take no shit.
It's not fair. I take all the shit. She takes no shit. Trish takes a lot of shit. But also, you're getting paid that extra 5% to put you in a position of power to be where you got to take a little bit of shit, because you got to take the shit from Trish and not put it back on your crew the way that you did. Bringing it back into the crew and saying, well, Trish says this way. Like, you're spelling disaster for the entire situation by doing that with somebody like Trish especially. Why does he zap? Damn. The semblance of sanity, ladies and gentlemen. It happens sometimes, chemo. Sometimes people get sane. This is 40 more minutes.
She doesn't even.
Well, it was his idea. All the costumes, I will say again, are his ideas, and I'm happy to go with them. I have the costumes made. My costume guy makes all the costumes. Like, I have them made. It's not like I was so upset. I was having a bad day. I was like, I don't like my costume. You know, I always go along with it. It's never like, I was just complaining that day. I didn't have my makeup artist. My skin was peeling. Like, I just didn't feel good in it.
Know this character. That's it. She doesn't even know who the character is, and it's all my idea, and, you know, fuck me for even making her do.
To me, again, like, he takes these things that is like, and I was in a bad mood, and I do apologize and stuff like that, but it's like, I feel I didn't like the costume when we did it. You know what I mean? And I'm always, one thing about me is I am always like overtly like, yes, I love this idea. I need to be more honest. I have to be more honest.
Yeah. Trisha's a people pleaser, right? She doesn't want to have confrontation. And that's why she has such bad confrontations, because she bottles it all up until she can't hold it anymore. And then she explodes and spills all over the place. Like, that's obvious, right? How could you be this close to Trish Paytas and not understand how she works? Like, she's predictable, if nothing else. These are all like formulas that she goes through. Like, yeah, she said it was fine. Of course she said it was fine. She's going to say it was fine. You taking her saying it's fine and not second guessing is you setting yourself up for the eventual, inevitable spillage. Lots of miscommunication happening. Yeah, it is. And that's really what it comes down to, is this miscommunication. Aaron Yanni says, Trish is a gape queen, I bet. You could subscribe to her OnlyFans and see all that stuff. She's got, I swear she posted a damn butthole pic to Twitter, and it went viral because she had a speck of toilet paper chilling just in the cut of the butt, like right up on the spooch, as in 4K. Like, how do you do that? How do you upload a damn... Her excuse was, what? I thought it was good. I thought that would show everybody that I wipe. There's no poop on it. It was just a little toilet paper. It's so psycho. It's so crazy. I say psycho and crazy in an affectionate way. I'm not trying to tear her down when I say that. The imperfect balance of your nutritious breakfast. Nasty, man.
About things in life. I've always been this way, where I'm just like, I love it. Yes, you know what I mean? Because I'm excited for anyone to dress up in costume with me. It wasn't a jab at him. Obviously, I had the costumes made. This is just, I mean, again, this is like besides the point, but I'm just, it's interesting. He'll show all the DMs except the ones where I say fire the crew, or what he said to me the night of things that happened in the
I mean, that is fair. Like, you're showing these DMs of her saying that she was down to dress up as Uncle Fester or whatever the hell, Pussy Fester or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You have these DMs, but where are the DMs of her saying she wanted to fire the crew? Like, that's fair, right? Give her that, please. I want to see those now. Oh.
order it happen.
It's like, I don't understand. What am I supposed to do? That's what I mean. It's like, I can't humanly do more. She expects superhuman care. She expects, I'm not a superhuman.
He said, I expect superhuman care. Those kind of things, I have to walk on eggshells. You expect superhuman care. It's so fun. It's like, I act like, just respect. You weren't respect. Ethan was rude. I'm just going to say, he was rude to me that day too on Monday. It was so rude. I was in disbelief. I was in shock. I was really trying to hold myself together. And I thought I did a pretty good job. But I'm not expecting superhuman of you. Like, what more, like...
Yeah, I think, I think Ethan kind of showed his cards, saying that, like, the response was, why does Trisha get to use her issues? I have issues too. My dick doesn't work. I have Tourette's. She makes fun of my Tourette's. Like, saying all that, it just shows you that Ethan is not superhuman or average human. Like forget superhuman. Ethan is not average human. Ethan cannot do something without disrespecting people around him, whether it be because he's aloof or whatever it is that keeps him from getting into these spats. Like, he's got his crew of people who are around him and they have his back, but they're all being paid to be there, right? Like, Gila has his back. That's his wife. Like, he's kind of a little bit of a man-child that just happens to also be really loved and talented, right? Like he's not only is he not a superhero, he's not an average affectionate human being. He is very much broken and weak by his own admission when challenged with Trish being broken and weak, instead of saying, like the average normal human being would be like, oh God, that's horrible. Let's find a way to either deal with this and fix it for the best and give that extra 10% that it's going to take to keep Trish manageable and know her triggers and know her condition. Let's either do that, or let's be the type of person that's going to realize we can't do that and then not work with her and not exploit the same conditions she has for views. Because that's what you do when you deal with Trish Paytas. You're turning her conditions into views. Literally, Trish Paytas does that as Trish Paytas for herself. She makes money off her conditions and her views. Like that's what he does. That's what she does. And that's what he's doing with her. He's utilizing that. And you have to be better than her in this situation by not stooping to her level. But he stooped to her level. And he admitted his penis doesn't work in the process, which I think was a horrible thing to do. Like, if you were just on your own show, no drama, and you were talking about, I take so many pills, I have no sensation in my penis. Like, it's just, what's the point of even having sex? I'm so doped up. That's totally different. It's totally different. But weaponizing that against somebody, putting yourself on somebody's level who is admittedly broken and struggling, it's just, it's just a bad optics, in my opinion. But he should have never uploaded the last show. Yeah, that's too bad. I don't know. I still haven't watched it because I've just been enjoying the fallout of it, I guess. But Beardshire says she goes on 12-hour diets that eats a pizza, not good habits. Oh, yeah. She's like, there's one episode of Frenemies where Ethan is like almost placating her abilities to overeat. And he's like, what'd you have? She's like, well, I do these during the week. I do like one meal a day fasting, intermittent fasting during the week. But in the weekends, all bets are off. She's like, today I had fried chicken. I had something. I had baked ziti. And she was naming all this like fatty food that she had in one sitting or in one day. And Ethan's like, oh yeah, no, I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. And it's like, it's definitely him mining those ungood habits. Because we all know that those are terrible habits. We know that. Like, but he's like, oh, I wish I could do that. Tell me more. And she's even catching on into it. Like, you don't even like this. You don't even like baked ziti. He's like, whatever. I'll eat anything. Like he's mining into her obesity in a very innocent but manipulative way. It's like he gets to claim innocence because he's supporting her freedom of choosing. But, it's like his way of saying, I wish I could eat that. I'm on a diet, though. Tell me more about how big of a glutton you are, right? He's like, and to the point where she's even like stopping herself because she realizes what he's doing, but she's also playing along with it in a way. Like, if you can't read the underlying psychology behind this, that's okay. But if you really look at it, when stuff like that's going down, it is a manipulation of her condition. Like, we all look at that and say, these are not good habits. You shouldn't be doing this. And he's encouraging it in a way that's almost like him virtue signaling his encouragement because, well, I'm on a diet. I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that. But I'm on a diet. It's just, it's latent. Negativity. Every Frenemies, he is a feeder. Oh, yeah. They be eating like crazy on there. I enjoy all that. I enjoy watching, like they had a cooking contest up in their kitchen and he was cooking, like they were cooking steaks and stuff. I enjoyed watching all that. That was great. Fantastic. Good stuff. But you also have to realize if they're both dumpster fire hot messes, Ethan having the control over the show and the production and everything only makes it more of a predatory situation, right? Like him having the control over everything tells me he needs to be better than Trish. He needs to not be superhuman, but give her attention to the details of her life that become these triggers and understand a little more of who you're working with. You got to understand the rhinoceros in the zoo or it's going to crash through and trample you. Real talk, Chemo Ryan says, real talk, Billy's face better than Trisha's yonkers. I agree with that. I think I'm very handsome. I think Trisha's yonkers are adequate. I wouldn't say a negative thing about them in public. No, there's a picture of them, the surgery. It looks like there was some damage done to them in the surgery. I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't think that makes them any less of an adequate set of boobs. That being said, I do think I'm very handsome. I'm very handsome. Am I saying Ethan is exploiting Trisha for views? I don't think that it's that nefarious. I think Trish is a creator. I think that Trish knows why she gets her views and she plays into it. I think that's why there's 7 reaction videos. I think Trish is her views on all platforms, not just H3H3, are exploitative. Right? I think they're all exploitative. So Ethan using Trisha as a co-host is exploiting Trisha for views the same way Trisha exploits herself for views. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think it becomes a bad thing when you, who have the entire production company and do all the production, try and sink to her level when it comes to shit like this. I think you have to be better. You have to be, he says his words, he's not superhuman. I think you have to be at least above average human to deal with somebody who is so full of conditions, right? She has so many conditions. If you want to utilize this, you have to be mindful of them. It's like they did the Tiger King thing, and Ethan was the Tiger King. He's 100% Tiger King here, and he feels like he's being affectionate and loving towards his tiger, but it's kind of a scummy environment, right? You kind of have to be like, you don't want to be Tiger King. You want to be maybe like Jack Hanna. You want to be before he died, Steve Irwin. You want to be the respected animal trainer with the budget to handle these animals correctly, the knowledge to handle these animals correctly. You don't want to be that redneck shit tier cage full of exotic animals that you sell off to rich weirdos for $1,500 at the end of the year. But that's that's just the way I see it with Trish. She's the attraction. She's the animals, Ethan is the zoo. I said that last episode too. It seems pretty obvious to me. You can't have the inmates running the asylum, right? Queen of Spades, isn't all of this platform a scum environment, or am I still on the wrong side of the internet? It's definitely not all scum environment, but YouTube definitely benefits those who are manipulative towards people's viewing habits. The same way advertisers benefit from manipulation of viewer habits. You manipulate people's emotional senses to get them to buy into your product. At its best, YouTube is a platform where anybody can put out anything and anyone with an account can watch it. At its best, it's fallen far from that. Far from that. It's definitely very controlled. There's definitely a lot of censorship going on. There's a whole lot of impediments between you and your viewers that YouTube puts into place to make sure that certain types of content doesn't flourish, to make sure that other types of content does flourish. There's regulators, there's pushes and pulls, 100% YouTube is not all toxic, but toxic does sell. The ability to share and show yourself and the world, your creation, is what makes YouTube amazing. And I would hate to stunt that at all, but sometimes you have to. But people are always going to manipulate that. YouTube also, there's channels out there that just scour search trends, put titles and thumbnails together with robots, and have robot voices read off news articles. They search through and put up pictures they search through that were relevant to the articles. They make these videos that are basically all robotic. They ship right out to suck up your viewership feed. You have people that are actual humans that know the viewing habits of people and how to manipulate them using clickbait by using the toxicity of drama. And they push that. They push that agenda, and they push it in a way that's very disingenuous. So there is bad stuff out here. And the viewers point and say, glad it ain't me. 100%. Yeah. Yeah. So many people out there watch other people's failings to help alleviate themselves of their personal responsibility. That's almost like the nourishment of this toxic stuff for a lot of people. They come watch this toxic trash drama and they say, well, my life's not that bad. Yeah, I'm pretty miserable, but at least I'm not them. And it's like, you could be so much more if you didn't put these limiting caps on your growth by saying, well, at least I'm not as bad as the worst person I could find online. Like, you should be watching scientists, and you should be watching vibrant creators with talents and skills that you admire. And you should say, oh man, I could be them. I could be them. I could be them. All I have to do is believe in myself and do the work, and I could be them. I could be that person. But we don't often think of it that way. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. The white stuff. Fast forward this a little bit, see what she has to say.
LA, she doesn't want to be here, whatever.
Whatever.
You guys, she knew from, okay, whatever. Without getting into he said.
Anyone can attest Moses was working for them. Anyone can attest they bought that building for H3. It was not for Frenemies. It was none of that. Like, if I had to go to downtown even to do an interview, I wouldn't. To be like, she has trauma, whatever. No, I didn't agree to go. He never said. It was never stated like we were moving to downtown LA, nothing. And in my head, I thought like, oh, the sets will be different or something like that. It's like, you don't act like you built the studio for me. You guys bought the studio for Teddy Fresh and H3, and like Frenemies is just like this thing that happened. They were already working on it before Frenemies even existed. So again, painting a picture and manipulating that this studio was bought for Frenemies because I was so uncomfortable with his house. They had to buy the studio. It was well in the works before. They were working on this before Frenemies was even an idea, was even a blimp.
Yeah, that was something that H3 said, was that Trish didn't want to do the show in the house. So they bought the damn the place in downtown LA, and then she didn't want to do it in downtown LA. So they put the studio back in the house or something. So confusing. So confusing, man. All we really need, all right, is one microphone, two microphones, one plate full of spaghetti with meatballs, me and Trish, microphones in our face, spaghetti and meatball plate between us. We chitter chatter. We talk, we laugh, we love, we eat spaghetti. And then at the end of the episode, there's one long strain of spaghetti left. Trish and I slurp it at the same time, and we meet up in the middle for a kiss, and boom, podcast cuts out. We do 140, maybe 2,000, maybe 500,000 episodes like that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's the new podcast, y'all.
Moses was working on this building before we were dating, before Frenemies. Like, it was a building for Teddy Fresh H3. So that is bullshit. And he knows. He's like, I'm not gonna say that he said she said, because you're lying yet again.
He said, what? Yeah, it was just because of COVID. We were in the basement. We had already owned this building. It was always the plan to move down here.
He already owned this building before. Like, before COVID even, he already owned it. So how is it for Frenemies?
That is a contradiction right there. That is a contradiction. We're calling out Trish for her contradictions. That is a contradiction. On H3 saying they got the video for the studio for Frenemies, but they already had it. Like, I feel like Ethan would have had a better chance of coming out of this perfectly if he was just like, Trish being Trish. Love her, but I understand it's hard to work with her. And if she wants to walk away, it's going to hurt me financially, emotionally. It's going to hurt me creatively. But I'm willing to go through that hurt to make sure that she's okay. That's all you got to say. That's all you got to say. Instead, you spend 45 minutes being like, well, I bought these shirts. I bought this. I bought this. I bought this. I bought the studio, and my dick doesn't work. Like, that's so bad. That's so bad. You don't need to go that far into it. Let's go to part 3 and just jump into part 3, because this is She made 3 45-minute responses to this. Let's jump in 6 minutes into this.
You get the same amount I get plus 5% of that, which is a shit ton. Plus 100% of the highlights, it's a shit ton.
Is like something that she just can't let go.
5%, yeah. I love how Ethan just skimmed. He's skimming over
money
that
is
stuff.
something that I hate doing, and I would never want to talk about.
But he spent this whole time being like, I don't know, I'm screwed. I have all this merch, and I don't know what I'm
She
doing.
bringing it up, and now I'm at this point where I have.
I bring it up because he was saying, why should I consult you? And I said, I thought that's what production budget went to. And maybe it shouldn't have been on the show, but don't air it. Ethan cares so much about his employees, but when AB was digging himself a hole, he aired it. He allowed that to happen. He allowed AB to be on there with an SA victim, trying to say like, oh, those claims aren't real. I don't know. I don't buy this. He allowed that. And AB got all this hate, and all Ethan could say after that was like, I hope you learned your lesson. Ethan, why would you put that out there? Why would you allow that?
Anybody else watch that part? I haven't seen that. Have you seen the thing that went down with AB and the SA victim? How bad was that? I missed that part. I don't know how long ago that was in the Frenemies episode. I lapsed a little bit in my viewership recently. That sucks.
Never, ever is he in the wrong. Never. I was in the wrong on so many things. I've been in the wrong on so many things. You know, but I'm not a bold-faced liar like this. I'm not saying fire the crew. It's crazy. And I'm not like, oh, I show her a full invoice and I don't get any money from Frenemies. He's a liar. He's a liar.
It's like, I'm so screwed with this merch situation.
But you don't care about money.
Thousands of pieces of shit that I don't think anyone's going to care about, honestly, come next month. And by the way, when we sell that shit, whatever we sell, she's going to get 50% of the profit. Just like I...
So again, he's saying 50% of the profit. Once again, I will text him myself and be like, I don't want profit. Because I don't. At this point, to me, it's like...
So sell the t-shirts at 15% off. And everybody will buy their Frenemies shirts. 15% off on Trish. She don't want the profit. Take that 15% off. And everybody could buy the Frenemies shirt. I wonder what the design looks like. I wonder if they have big fat dude shirts. Now I want to buy one.
It's dirty money to me, not to them. They've invested in it. They did the designs. You know, I want them to sell out and make the money. But to me, it's like, it's such a bad taste in my mouth now. I don't want the money. I'm happy to promote it.
It was pretty bad with AB victim. What AB did victim shaming. Oh, that sucks. That sucks.
Hell, I'll come do a Frenemies. Don't pay me. We'll promote it on Frenemies like July 8th, whatever. Like, if the crew doesn't want me there, that's fine. I'm happy to do that. Don't pay me for the merch. Don't pay me for that episode. Like, I'll do it. Like, I'm not this person that like leaves people high and dry. Like, even after all this, even after you blatantly lie that says I want to fire the crew, you have all these receipts, but not that receipt. Like, I will still do that. And I told him that.
Promised her. Even though she went on Twitter and tried to call me a liar, he's lying. I only get 50%. It's like, Trisha, read the message.
Okay.
She's
right.
Message again. I don't know why she's sending our private messages.
He showed my private messages. So he's saying,
"What's up, Hillary? Did nothing wrong. This woman is a beauty guru. She's got a skincare line coming out.
I'm getting 50%. And people who are already pissed about percentages I get of whatever, of Frenemies, of the channel, of whatever. So putting that out there is just inciting more people to hate me. Oh, wow, she's getting 50%.
Anonymous, I don't know how you watch this, dude. I'm invested. I'm invested in this drama. And it's easier for me to watch it with you guys and comment on it and pause and fast forward than sit alone and watch it on my own. Like, me interjecting my commentary makes this easier for me to palpable, makes it more palpable. I don't know words, dude. Everything I learned about the English language, I learned playing magic cards and reading comic books like a fucking nerd.
Of the merch, even though you guys, it's Teddy Fresh, it's your guys' resources, it's your guys' money. It's like,
Hero of Canton says, guy wasn't an SA victim. He kissed a masked person, assuming it was a female. Was that a David Dobrik thing or prank? I don't know. I'm not trolling. She's got skincare line coming out. Get that skincare line.
No, they're getting 85%. I'm getting 15%. They're saying the net margin is 30%. Again, I'm not questioning that. from my experience selling clothing, I work with clothing companies, you know, like margins, I don't know. I don't want to get into that. But hey, if that's 30%, if he says that's the profit margin, that's the profit margin. I was happy with 15% because I thought I was getting 0%. But to tweet, she's getting 50%. People think like 50% of everything when that's not true. It's not true. You know, it's a very specific detail that is important because it's not getting 50%. You guys put in all the work and I'm still getting 50% because people are already pissed. And he knew people were pissed. He reads the Reddit. He knows people are pissed about 50%.
I wonder if part of the profit, like, does the entire team that they have with Teddy Fresh, the entire team they have of their crew, are they all getting paid to design and produce and put this merchandise together on top of everything? Like, it seems like you're bringing more meals to your people's table through this, if that's the case. And then she gets paid after all they get paid, she gets 15%, which is reasonable. It's a reasonable thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but like you have Teddy Fresh already running. You obviously have people who are paid employees to be there. Like you're bringing them another meal by bringing the Frenemies t-shirt through them. Like, what if Trish was like, hey, I want to do merch. I'm going to do it through my platform and we're going to sell it through my platform. I'll give you 15% of the profits. Was it 30% of the profits? They split 30% of what? I don't know, man. It's too deep, y'all. It's too deep. C-Dog says she's too dense to handle financial situations like this. She needs a carer. Maybe. She has enough money to blow on $70,000 purses. She just sits and collects cash, I guess.
And all the stuff like that. And it's just like the 5% thing, leaving out the 100% of highlights. Like he's just kind of picking and choosing. She's getting 50%. I don't even want 15% anymore. I don't want it. You know, but he tweeted that, which is why I tweeted these private messages. You show private messages. You're no better than me in this situation.
She added me. I hit my icon on WhatsApp is Metamucil. Love that product.
Yeah, I'm totally over watching them go back and forth on this. Womp, 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 womp. A womp, 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 womp. Over-explaining looks guilty. Both parties were over-explaining, though, right? I think that's what it comes down to. I think both parties are pretty guilty of miscommunication. I think with Trish, you kind of have to know what you're getting into. She's very openly the way she is. I think you have to know when you get in bed with Trish Paytas, there's a chance you're going to get crabs, right? That's a metaphor. I don't think she has genital diseases. I don't know. I don't know why she would. I don't know why she wouldn't. Tons of promiscuous people are disease-free, especially ones that work in the adult entertainment industry. They're very careful. Trish Paytas, working in the adult entertainment industry, makes me think that she's probably very careful. But with Ethan, you know, you think you're getting into bed with, like, not a train wreck of a human, right? And I think him trying to play the train wreck card in the response was a mistake. I think Trish playing the train wreck card is exactly Trish's brand, right? But that's my commentary. She just posted a new video. Holy shit. Trish, how many videos are you going to post? Yeah, Peeping Ukulele says, I'm confused how communication could break down so much that he told his crew she wanted to fire them all. That's where everything stems from. That sounds questionable. I would love to see that receipt. 2 hours ago, this needs to be said? Isn't that what we already looked at?
I look like I'm crazy and manic, and I really like, if that's what it looks like to people, like that's fine. Like I do talk to someone regularly, and I'm fine. I have Moses, I have other things I'm working on. I'm fine. But again, the thing about all this that doesn't sit right with me, like the video Ethan made yesterday, I thought was so awful on so many levels, because in all my videos up to that, I didn't incite any hate to the crew. I didn't incite any hate to Ethan. You know, I made videos saying I was stepping away from situation because of how he presented. The crew was upset, and I really in my heart didn't want to make them that. And I have a couple clips from times when I've have highlighted the crew, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe they did this for me, because like I guess it hurts the most, because like I didn't have issue with them, you know. And in that moment at the end of the last episode, in those last moments, you know, looking back, you know, I was triggered. Like at the time I didn't feel upset, but I was being pushed, and I was being pushed. And like I specifically asked, can we please end the show? Can we please? And he's like, yeah, you can walk off anytime. But I said I didn't want to walk off, because I didn't want to look like that person that's so unstable. I can't sit down and finish a show. I wanted to finish it, and I asked so many times.
I don't know how you, I just don't see what you just did. That's really
What did I do?
We have to end it now. Like really.
What did I do?
We got to stop for real. Really. We
Okay.
need to stop. Please. Okay.
Whenever you're ready, you can walk away.
So. No, because I don't want to title this.
It's the pizza curse.
But can we just?
I'm not going to title it Trisha's thing. It's the pizza curse. It is.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have got pizza.
It's the pizza curse. It's the pizza curse. We shouldn't have got pizza. She's like, please end it now. Please stop. If this wasn't a podcast, and this was a sexual encounter, and Trish said, please stop, and Ethan kept going and saying, why? Well, did pizza upset your stomach? You don't like it? You don't like your pizza? We'd be like, oh, wow. Dick move. Luckily for me, he tried to lighten up the mood. Yeah. And Trish tried to have some control over the situation and was relegated to nothing. Like, if you look at this as Trish being in a situation where she has no power and she's trying to take some power by ending the show, you're spitting in her face, right? You're spitting in the face of the person who has no power. And by everything we look at with this, Trish has no power in this situation. All the power she has is to be the crazy woman and walk out, run out. But it's the pizza curse, guys. It's the pizza curse.
Pizza? Oh no, it was pizza. Trisha, let me just say,
The
I'm
fact,
sorry.
Ethan, that you just did that, you're right.
I don't know what I just
Nothing's wrong
said.
with you. But you don't know how much therapy I go to a week. I go to 4
But
Zoom
Trisha,
sessions a
you
week.
can't-
No,
I understand,
Ethan,
but okay,
what you
all right.
just said was, you're right, Trisha. Everything's fine. That's insane. Like the fact that you did that to me is like
It's
insane.
not insane. We're friends.
was
We're
so
having
nice.
a friendly conversation. I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around everything I say.
All right.
I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around everything I say. But if you want to deal with somebody who has issues, you have to take that personal care into the fold. You have to be like, okay, she's saying stop, I'm going to pull out, and then pull out. You have to have that level of respect. You got to.
All right, Ethan,
We
I'm
have
asking to end this. I'm asking
You can leave anytime, Trisha.
But then you're making this thing where we're not ending the show, and you get to sit here and be like, okay, well that just happened, and you're eating pizza, and then
I will
joke
end
and
the show
whatever.
the minute you walk
All right,
off the
so let's
prayer.
just end it.
Why can't he end it right now? Like, why can he not end it right now? I haven't seen this yet. Like, just end the show. Just end the show. It wasn't fine. She kept saying it was. Well, from here, like all the way up until this point, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. That's her being passive, right? And she goes from passive to aggressive. She bottles it all up. It gets stored up inside of her. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And then it's not fine. And then you're having to deal with somebody who shook up the root beer, opened the root beer, and it's shooting out of the bottle everywhere. Your root beer's all over your lap because you shook the fucking bottle up. I'm like, no, it's fine, dude. It's fine. It's fine. Nope. Keep shaking that root beer. Yep. Nope. Look at that. I love root beer. And then, whoa, shut. She's clearly upset, but she said she wasn't. I think you could pretty much understand here. This should be ended. She said twice now that she wants to end it without walking off. And he's saying, no, just walk off. I'll end it immediately after you walk off. She's saying she doesn't want it to end like that. And he's saying, that's not the case. I'm in control here. I'm in control. We'll do this my way.
Please. Thank you guys for watching. And I don't want it to be a thing where you're just sitting here eating pizza and you become a meme.
So then I'll say, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't want to get in an argument over
I really
like
need
your
to
most.
leave.
Okay. All right. We're done. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
They keep the camera rolling as she walks off. Like, this is shitty. This is shitty. If this isn't scripted, right? If this is scripted and they're just trolling us, it's still shitty. Like, I wouldn't want to be Ethan like this. What's up, Akuz? Thank you for the dono. I wouldn't want to be playing this character if this was a character. I wouldn't be like, hey, good idea. Akuz, thank you for the love. I wouldn't be like, good idea. Let's make me look like an uncaring asshole and you look like a crazy bitch to get views. You'd kind of want to make it be a little over the top so those people that are in the know aren't judging you. Because random fans are going to be like, oh, she walked off regardless. You could have it be a little over the top if you want to play it like that.
So I asked multiple times to like end it and to specifically not show me walking off because it did become a meme all the 2 times before I walked off and the 3rd time. I asked to end it. You know, I really wasn't trying. You know, he said we're having a friendly conversation. He knew he was provoking me. It's not walking on eggshells. It's when someone's like asking to end a conversation and just not doing it. It's just a lot. But aside from that, and I know people are like, you're just like sound like a broken record, but it's not sitting well. It doesn't sit right with me that like everyone thinks that I wanted the crew fired because I was in a moment of heat or in my moment of being upset was like, I want a crew for Frenemies or something like that. When earlier in the episode, like, you can't pick and choose, right? Like, you can't just pick and choose, like, oh, she was mean to them there. But like I said in the episode, like I was grateful that they were busy. I acknowledge that they're working on stuff. Like, every time they've done something for me, specifically Sam, which is the most ironic thing that he's like throwing her under the bus with me. Dan saying it was Sam ideas. He's saying that same idea. Like, just like putting her in this for whatever reason, because she's new, because she's the female, because she'll take it, because she's the girlfriend of somebody. Like, I'm not sure why they're putting her in the middle, but I've always been like so appreciative of her, specifically because she does put all that effort in those little bunny things. Like, I say,
And then like to have them already made because I hate making shit. Like, this is already a great.
Well, thank you to Sam and Ian.
What should we do? Do they have like? Should we give them extra shout out? You want to replace my link with their link?
First of all, Ian works for me, so calm down.
Do you replace?
I do pay him.
Well, tell them they can have whatever link they want. I'm trying to replace mine this week. This is so cool.
Okay, link is life. I'm
like, replace my link with theirs. Like, I didn't know what else to say because he's like, they work for me, they're on salary, and I was like, we need to give them more. You know, I'm not involved with the pay. I'm not involved with anything like that. You know, but
oh man, Trish, it's time you come work for a new zoo. Let me be your handler. Let me be the zookeeper, Trish. I know how to work with your kind. I have a history with rhinoceroses in the wild. I could be the Jack Hanna of YouTube drama. Let me lock you up in my zoo, Trish Paytas. It's really what it comes down to, though. Like, she has absolutely no power in this relationship, and it eats up at her because she also has no power to speak up for herself until it's way too late, and then she melts down and breaks down. It's a bad relationship. It's entertaining as fuck. Like, I enjoy watching it. So many people enjoy watching it. So many people become affectionate and loving of these two when they're together. But then, like a breakup, people take sides. Like, I'm not taking Trish Paytas, H3. I'm not taking sides here. I'm just commenting on the way I see it. If you're a fan of H3, and you were before this, and you were a fan of Trish, and now you're like, fuck her, she's a crazy bitch. Fuck her for doing this to Ethan. It was known she was out of her fucking mind a lot of times. She was brash and abnormal. It was always known that was her brand. So if you're new to this and this is the first time you're seeing Trish Paytas melt down and fall apart, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Now, if you were a fan of Trish Paytas and this is the first time you're seeing Ethan throw somebody under the bus because they don't see eye to eye, welcome to the show. Like when PewDiePie said the N-bomb. And he's like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. That's really disrespectful. And there's videos of Ethan saying it. It's like, that's how Ethan operates. Be the superhuman. You're a multimillionaire. You said, oh, I'm not Superman. I can't walk on eggshells. I'm not Superman. You're making millions of dollars. You could do better. You could do better. You choose not to. You choose to, in the face of adversity, rather than say, I fucked up dealing with this rhinoceros in the wrong way and she trampled my zoo. You say, I'm going to learn how to care for rhinoceroses a little better, a little more, because I'm making hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, off having this rhinoceroses in my zoo. You don't just say, oh, I'm not superhuman, okay? Can't do that. You learn to do that, or you admit defeat and say, well, I'm not going to work with her anymore because it's not worth it. As much as I enjoyed it, as much as I felt love for this person and love creating with this person, they tax me in a way that I'm not mentally prepared to deal with. You don't say, God, she's crazy. I'm crazy too. I take pills. My dick don't work. You don't say that. You don't say that. But you did. Both sides here look like they are struggling as human beings to coexist. And as much as I enjoyed the Frenemies podcast, I don't need it. As much as I want it, I don't need them to suffer, and they don't need to suffer. They're making money regardless. It's not make or break for me, the viewer, for Trish, or for Ethan. And if it is make or break for you, if you are truly suffering because H3 and Trish Paytas are no longer doing Frenemies, this might be your rock bottom wake up call. You might be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, no longer am I going to tell myself, at least I'm not Trish Paytas. At least I'm not this fucking train wreck. And you can start saying, hey, at best, I'm going to cure cancer. At best, I'm going to solve world hunger. At best, I'm going to make somebody right here, right now on YouTube laugh. I'm going to make somebody smile. I'm going to make somebody feel better about themselves, because that's a contribution to this world that makes me better than I was when I woke up. And that's what I want to strive for. I want to be better tomorrow than I am today. I'm not going to get that way by comparing myself to hot messes on the internet and saying, at least I'm not them. But we can all be happy that we're not bratty millionaires with skincare lines or t-shirt companies. We can all be happy that we're not them. Joke's on us, guys. The two of these fucking people are rich as hell. Joke's on us. Enjoy it. Enjoy it while it lasts, y'all. And while it doesn't last, when it's all said and done, thank you for the memories. Tyler Crazy Wolf says, at least I ain't Billy. Honestly, Tyler, if you were me, you probably couldn't handle it. But luckily, I'm me. And I can handle it. I do all right. All right, everybody, I'm going to wrap up this little tootie, this episode of Billy Breaks Bread. It's not the name of this at all. I don't know if I titled it anything. But if I do ever have a podcast with somebody and it's a carb eating podcast where we sit down at a restaurant and we have a conversation before our meal shows up and we just have the plate of bread, hot bread at the table to eat while we converse, it will be called Billy Breaks Bread. And then we'll end with us eating our meals as the credits roll and a mukbang for Billy Breaks Bread. That's actually a good idea for a show. If anybody works at AMC movie theaters and wants to sign me up for a pre-film show, let me get a little money for that. Let me get a little money for that, y'all. Let me get a little money. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging. Thank you for the love and support. As always, I need it to survive. I don't. Most human beings, their body produces vitamin C. No, wait, that's not true. Most animals, not human beings, most animals on Earth, their bodies produce vitamin C. Human beings do not. We have to take in vitamin C to remain healthy. We don't produce our own vitamin C. We also don't produce our own happiness and support. So it's important that I get my high doses of happiness and support from you guys. Please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Sebastian Sonis says, Billy, quit YouTube and make an album. You're the best singer I've heard. Ba-do-do, do, da-do-do, do, da-do-do, do, 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 do. I do think I'm going to make an album pretty soon. If anybody wants to sign up for my Patreon, patreon.com/Billy. The more Patreon signups I get, the more likely I will make that album sooner. I don't know why. I need to know that I'm going to sit down and make this album and people are actually going to want it. That's what scares me, is I'm going to sit and make an album and it's going to be obscure. And I'll spend thousands of dollars and all my time on a vanity project. You know me. Oi, Papa Billy, how are you? This is Cthulhu McCracken. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you. Vitamin C. Yeah, spill it, sister. Weird. This is the longest goodbye. This is by far the longest goodbye. Near, far, wherever you are. We have to go outside to get vitamin C. I heard you. Peace and love, young Bill Fridge. Peace and love. To hell with that. Thank you. To hell with that. I just now put that together. To hell with it. Damn it. I'm so slow. I've been watching you talk all night long. And I just put that together. It was very good. Very good.
To Hell Life It funded $5. Peace and love, young Bill the Fridge. Peace and love.
Put a little love in your heart. 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 You want to see me in a dress? There's videos out there. The truth, there are videos out there. We live in wild like that. We live in crazy, baby. We live in wild like that. We live in loco. Oh no. Okay, let's go. Good night, everybody. This is really me leaving right now. I'll miss you too, Christopher Callahan. I'll miss you all. Have a good night, guys. Bye. Like how my abandonment issues are coming out and I'm not leaving. Like, I don't want to go. I don't want to leave you all alone. Put a little bass in your fart. We're going to go like 2 more hours of me just saying goodbye. Isn't that the worst? Lick the mic? No. It's icky. It's icky. I don't want to do that. Oh, one of these days we did an all-nighter stream. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Maybe I could set up enough content to keep us going for a long, long time. Never leave me, Billy. I don't want you to go. If you stay forever, we can take it slow. Don't leave me, Billy. I don't want you to go. If you stay forever, I'll let you blow. What? What? What did you do before the podcast? What do you mean? What did I do before the podcast? Nothing. I've been doing music and stuff, freelance stuff for years. I never had last time I had like a day job was 12 years ago. A long, long time. And I've never had a day job that I didn't work with a friend. When I was 14, I became a telemarketer, and I only did because a friend of mine was afraid to go to his job interview on his own. He's like, I don't think I'll do it. So I went with him, and they gave me a job too. And I was like, whatever. 14, I'll be a telemarketer. I could buy magic cards. My shop was right down the road from a card store. Perfect. We'd call people like, hey, sir. Hi, this is Billy the Fridge calling from da-da-da-da-da. Well, we like to know you've won a raffle for a new car and a trip to Hawaii. If you would like to sign up your name, address, and location, you'll be put into our next level, and we'll get a call for your free trip, all expense paid, to Diddly Bop. It was never a car. I think a car was like the grand scheme. Also available for a car. That bullshit. DP was on a break, but we're going to be back today. We're going to be back today. That's why I got to get going. I got to get going and go to that. And then I worked at a Domino's Pizza when I was 18, 19. But my friend was the manager. And he needed help. He's like, hey, would you be a delivery driver? And I was like, yeah, why not? I was like, do I get free pizza? He's like, hell yeah, you get free pizza. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll deliver pizzas. And then I worked in a pawn shop. My friend bought the pawn shop, and I was doing stuff there. And that was my 9-to-5 style jobs that I ever had in my life. But I also did like graphic web promotion and stuff throughout that time period. That was more on my schedule. My schedule. What do you think of the streamer that faked his death for 6 months and made people mourn for him? That's wild. I didn't know about that yet. I just want you to know I found my reason to be. To be who I wanted to be. I don't know the lyrics to the song. My reason to start over new, and the reason is you. Boulevard, yeah, that was classic. I gotta get back out there. I lost my streamer phone in LA. I left it at my friend's house, and they were supposed to send it back to me, and it has not came back in the mail yet. I'm a little bummed about that. I don't know. It's been like a week. Hopefully it's in the mail soon, because that's a nice little phone that doesn't exist right now. Got any movie recommendations? Needing something to watch? We can watch something new. You want to watch something old? I just want you to know. I would recommend you watch The Perfection on Netflix, I believe. It stars the girl from Get Out. And I enjoyed it. Kind of phone. It was a Samsung S9, I think. It was a nice little streamer phone. But hopefully it's just taking a while to get here in the mail. Oof. Boo, 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 boo. I found the reason in me to change who I used to be. What a good song. When will I do any gaming live? Probably on twitch.tv/BillyTheFridge. I haven't been on there for a couple weeks, to be honest. I got in a car accident a couple weeks ago, and my back has been really sore. And I think I'm better now. I don't know. I'm hoping I'm better now. I've been really lazy the last few days, trying not to push myself, because I was pushing myself throughout the week, this last week, and I was busted up, and I didn't want to stream too much. Sweet Tooth was good. Is that a TV series? Sweet Tooth? Yeah, I want to get that back. Walmart's giving all of the employees Galaxy 9s. Interesting. I haven't heard that. Tell my back to stop. I'm like, stop, back. Just why are you hurting? Why are you hurting, back? Download and use an app. Interesting. Interesting. Get an MRI and a lawyer. I probably should. I was fine for the first few days after the accident, and then I was really sore. And I was like, God, I'm so sore. I'm so sore. What happened? And by the end of the night, I'd wake up and I'd be okay, but by the end of the night, I'd be so sore I just wanted to lay in bed. And I was like, what the hell? And I was like, oh God, is this the accident? I looked up if you can have like everything sit in from an accident after a couple days of not feeling anything. And that's totally like the adrenaline, I guess, or whatever rushes through. We've taken a little bit of, have I seen Loki yet? R. Azrael. I did watch Loki last night. Pretty good, pretty good. I'm liking it. I'm liking to see where it goes. I went to high school in North Seattle. Tell me more, tell me more. That's what happened with your neck when you got rear-ended. Yeah, I got rear-ended. And my back was just busted up. But I think I'll be okay. Anyways, y'all, I'm actually going to go now. Thank you for hanging. R. Azrael, I did see Loki. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good first episode, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I have my theories. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, everybody. I'm actually going to go now. We're hit the 2-hour mark. I've actually spent 10 minutes just saying goodbye like a psycho. Didn't feel it for 3 days. See, it was 3 days later. I was so sore. Damn. I just try to let my body heal on its own, but maybe I should have lured up. I don't know, man. I'm crazy. All right, guys. Peace, love, and hair grease. Good night.